these are bad names. You see, this one is starting with the number 1. There's a space in between blood and pressure. There's a percentage sign after age. There's a space here. This is not the way to put the naming of the variable. Okay, the professional way of naming the variable is what we have here: age, sex, cholesterol, income. Okay, take note. Now, next, let's now look at the type. Remember, I told you that I will still come back to explain each of the different types, okay, of variable. Now, for type, it determines the kind of data SPSS will store. So when you click those 3 dots, you see several options. First, you see numeric. Like I told you, numeric has to do with numbers, most commonly stored as numbers. So let me now ask now, for age, we've agreed is numeric. For gender, will we still keep it as numeric? Okay, will we still keep gender as numeric? It depends on you, depends on what you want. Okay, for gender, the best bet is string. Okay, so age numeric, gender string, gender string. Okay, then income numeric, cholesterol and blood pressure. So for cholesterol and blood pressure, now the question is, what value are you coming with your data? Are they in numbers, or is most times the blood pressure or cholesterol level? I don't know how you got your source of data. So it depends on the data you are working with at the end. So you can do that way. So numeric for numbers, comma. Now, what do you mean by comma? Displays comma automatically. Do you want your data to appear like this? You see that? You can use this for revenue, for population, for large financial data. I think I would like to use this for income. Income. Let me use comma for income. Okay? The income, somebody could be earning 1 billion, so there could be need for these separators. Okay, so then dots for European formatting. If you want to write the numbers with dots, okay, then we rarely use this in Nigeria. Then for scientific notation, now when you have extremely large numbers in your figures that has exponential 2.3 times 10 raised to the power 7, you need to change this variable type now. For example, let's assume the cholesterol level. What the number you're going to give is going to be in the form of exponential. Okay, so the best bet is to do scientific notation. You see that? That's the best type for your data there. When you have the values so long, too large. Okay. Now the data could be date. It will store whatever value you put in as date, following this format or this format or this format, depending on format that you use for sampling. Or you can use this for sampling date, admission date, transaction date, and all that. So if we have another column here now for let's call it since it's patient now, we'll call it admission. Let's just call it dates. So it will be like dates for admission. Okay, so we can change this to dates. Okay, now if you look at where we clicked on date, it now specifies. Okay, for date, it's now asking you, what kind of date are you looking at? What's the width? Sorry, for date, what's the kind of day you want? Is it this type? Is it this type? You choose the kind of date that you want. Is it Monday, Tuesday? You understand? So we can just leave it here. The same thing, when we did numeric, it's asking you width. What's the highest number that you're going to input into that, into the variable name? What's the decimal place? The values there, it should be in what decimal place? Okay. For this one now with strings, if you look at strings, it tells you character. How long is the text going to be? Is it going to be more than 8 or more? You have to specify, Then comma is telling you the character width and the decimal place as well. Then for scientific, the number of character width, how many numbers are you going to put, how long, then decimal place for the decimals. Then for dates, we've looked at that already. Okay, so you see there are different available dates you choose. Then for dollar, probably you are looking at currency. It displays currency. So if we have a specific variable where we have dollar, we'll now ask ourselves, you specify. So it depends on what you are working with and what you're using it for. Then custom frequency allows custom currencies. Let's assume you want to be working with Naira and you want Naira to show. Okay, let's assume I want to change this to sales. And I want this to be custom. Okay. How do we customize this? Oh, I can't even find a way to customize it. So this one is actually to customize currency. But most of the time, I don't think people don't use this one. People don't use this one because I'm trying to look for a way to put Naira now, and I'm not able to achieve anything. So I just cleared it. Okay, so then you have string. We've talked about string already. Okay, string has to do with text. Then next is width. What is width? It determines the maximum number of characters. That's for width. When we choose all this, automatically it told us to put width and decimal place. We can still come here to change that width and change the decimal place as well. Okay, so that's it with decimal. Determines the number of digits after decimal point. Then we have label. We've talked about label. Provide a full description of the variable. After putting the name, this explains the variable you put. It's very important for professional research work like the ones we do in marine science. Then also we have values. Values, what are values? They are used for coded categorical variable. Now this is where gender now comes in. Now you were supposed to ask the question, we left gender. Okay, we left it as string. There is a way we could change this now, using a categorical variable. Okay, under values. Now, under values, the variable like gender is either male or female, right? But having male or female everywhere, you might just want to encode it in another way. So you can use value now to change this. Now, change this. For example, you can say that let 1, you want 1 to be equals to male. Okay, you add it. Then you also want 2 to be female. Okay, you add it. Oh, we have male. Okay. Female. Good. So we have male, we have female, then okay. Okay? So we have 2 values here for this one, male and female. You can have more than that too. Number 3, another thing, number 4, another thing, number 5, another thing. You add it like that. So for each of the value for gender now, you have a category. Okay? So that SPSS now stores number 1, number 2.